Hello, grade 10 students. Let's get prepared for our grammar lesson today, relative pronouns and relative adverbs, and open our student books, page 62. The objectives of the day are identify the types of relative pronouns through given examples, distinguish between relative pronouns and relative adverbs, apply understanding of relative pronouns to answer a set of questions. Let's begin. Before we start categorizing, I want you to pause the video for a minute and try to figure out what is in common between the words in blue. Pause, read from A to F, and figure it out. We can say which, who, which, and whose are categorized into relative pronouns, while we have where and when are categorized into relative adverbs. We will try to understand more into that. Let's check together what is a relative pronoun. The first example, the man who is wearing a green shirt is my dad. We have who. It refers to that man. So when do we use who? Pause and think. We use who to refer to people. Excellent job. Now let's check the next example. The shirt which I wore yesterday was a gift from my sister. We have which, and it refers to the shirt. So when do we use which? Pause and think. We use which to refer to things or ideas. Wonderful. And the third example, this is the boy whose father is a famous actor is in my class. Now we have whose, and then we have two subjects, the boy and the father. As you can see, the father refers to the boy. When do we use whose? Let's check it out. We use whose when we are talking about possessions, belongings. So the father belongs to the boy. Now that you learned about who, which, and whose, what is a relative pronoun? It is a word which is used to refer to nouns mentioned previously, whether they are people, places, things, animals, or ideas. Relative pronouns can be used to join two sentences. What are the underlined clauses named? Let's go through them one by one. That man who is wearing a green shirt is my dad. The shirt which I wore yesterday was a gift from my sister. And then we have, this is the boy whose father is a famous actor, is in my class. What do we call them? How about you pause and try to think of the answer? We call them relative clauses. Well done. Let's check your understanding. Fill in the gaps with a suitable relative pronoun. Number 1, I'm looking for someone can watch my dog while I go on vacation. Number 2, I saw the shoes you bought last week on sale for less this week. Number 3, the girl mother was my friend at school goes to my daughter's school now. Pause and fill in the gaps. Number 1, we will say the answer is who. Why is that? Because who is used when we are referring to someone. Someone is a person. The next one, which. Why? Because shoe is a thing. And the third one we have whose, because the mother belongs to the girl. Well done, everyone. Let's move on to relative adverbs. Let's check out the first example. The year when I graduated university was the year they established Qatar Foundation. We have when, and it refers to the year. So when do we use when? Pause and think. We use when to express time. Excellent. How about the next one? The building where I used to live in became commercial offices. We have where, and it refers to the building. So when do we use where? Pause and think. We use where to express place. Excellent. So, what is a relative adverb? Well, the relative adverbs are where and when. A relative adverb is used to start the description for a noun, specifically place and time. Let's check your understanding for relative adverbs. Fill in the gaps with the suitable relative adverb. Number 1. I lived in an area. The train station was in front of my house. And number 2. The days we left the house without a mask are over. Pause and fill in the gaps. The answer for the first one is where. Why is that? Because area is a place. And the next one we have when. And why is that? Because the days is an indicator of time. We will begin working on exercise A, page 62. So I want you all to pay attention and open your books. Now, read the examples and answer the question. First of all, which of the words in blue refers to people? Pause and think. And the answer is who? It refers to a student. A student is a person. What about places? Pause and think. We can say where. Now it refers to region. What is the meaning of region? It means an area. How about possessions? Pause, read from A to F and decide which. The answer is whose. Excellent. Whose comes between grandfather and girl, two subjects. The grandfather belongs to the girl. How about the time? Pause and read. The answer is when. As you can see here, we have it refers to the time. What about things and ideas? Pause and read through. I'll just give you a hint. There are more than one sentence. The answer is the first one, which. We can say it refers to some languages, as well as we have which, and it refers to sign languages. Well done, everyone. Let's move on to question 2. In which of the examples can we replace the word in blue with that? So I want you to pause, read from A to F, and try to replace one of the words in blue and see if it's possible with that. Let's check your understanding. The first one we have which. Excellent. So we can say there are some languages that do not require speech at all. What else? Wonderful. Who? Aiden is a student that has to learn whistling at his school. And since we chose which here, we will choose it again here and say sign language is something that you can learn quite easily. So the relative pronouns that we can use are which and who. Question 3. In which of the examples can we omit the word in blue? Let's try to understand more into this. Omitting the relative pronoun. Omitting means to delete. So, in which of these sentences can the relative pronoun be omitted? I want you to take a look on the examples we have. The first one, the assistant who we met was really kind. And the next one, the assistant who helped me is really kind. How about you pause the video for a minute and try to omit the relative pronouns and figure out which sentence can work out without a relative pronoun. Let's check your answers. The first one, yes, it is possible. We can say the assistant we met was really kind. The next one, it is not possible. Why is that? Because we cannot omit the relative pronoun if it is followed by a verb, and here we have a verb, so we cannot say the assistant helped me is really kind. It is not possible. Let's go back again to question 3. In which of the examples can we omit the word in blue? So pause and read from A to F and make a decision. The answer is C. Sign language is something which you can learn quite easily. We can omit which and go through with the sentence normally because it is followed by a subject, which is you. Let's go through the grammar reference, page 83. I want you to pause the video for a few minutes, read through it, highlight the most important information and the keywords, and let's see. All right, now read through the grammar reference to fill in the gaps with a suitable pronoun. The first sentence, the teacher used to teach me last year is the same one this year. The building I lived in is now a shopping mall. And finally, I was not at home. You stopped by yesterday. I want you to pause the video for a few minutes, try to fill in the gaps, and analyze it through each sentence. The answer for the first one, the teacher, we have as a person, so we will use with it who. Excellent. And the next one we have the building. The building is a place, so we will use with it where. Now this one is a little bit tricky. I was not at home. I know most of you put an underline under home, but actually it is yesterday. It is a timing. All right, so we will use with it when. We will be working on exercise B, page 83, so I want you all to pay attention and start on the question. Let's work on exercise B from 1 to 5. I will model the first one for you so you will be able to follow through the same way. The first one, do you know a good language school I can learn Russian? First of all, we will underline the reference we have here. Language school is a place. With place, we will be using where. Excellent job. Now pause and work on the rest of the sentences. Let's begin. Number 2. I have a colleague, wife. So here we have two subjects. One refers to the other. So we will be using possession, whose. Wonderful. Number 3. We have the day. The day refers to time. So we will be using when. Excellent. How about number 4? We have the guy. The guy obviously is a person. So we will be using who or that. Excellent. And number 5, George is the one. George is a person. With that, we will be using who or that. Excellent. All right, everyone. Let's continue from 6 to 8. Pause, analyze, and fill in the gaps. The answer for number 6 is, let's check it out. It is a language. Language is a thing. So, with things we will be using which or that. The next one is easy. I can't stop thinking about the time. As you can see here, the time obviously identifies time, and with time we are using when. Now, number 8 is a little bit tricky. You've been to Moscow. Wow, it is certainly a city. Obviously, it is a place. But can we say it is certainly a city? Where is worth? Since it is followed by is, it is hard to say where. So we will be using with it instead that. That is worth. Finally, let's take a look on the sentences from 1 to 8 and decide if any of them can have the relative pronoun or the relative adverb be omitted. Pause, go through them, and let's figure it out. We can say it is number 5. No, that was Brian. George is the one I was talking to about. And why is that? Because it is followed by a subject. Another one? Yes, number 7. I can't stop thinking about the time I went to Moscow with. So number 7 is also can be omitted because it is followed by a subject. Excellent. This is it for the day. Thank you.